Are you trying to figure out how to use keywords? What are keywords anyways? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to the Canadian Tech Savvy Agent channel. I'm Melody Wilson. I'm a local realtor here in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm a top producing agent. We are going to talk to you all about how to do things, questions about technology, social media, marketing, all that kind of stuff. So don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on any of the upcoming videos we have out every week. Today's video is all about keywords. Now, if you are using YouTube, for example, and you are trying to find the best keywords to use in your video, I'm going to talk about how to do that. Now, first, before we get into how to do that, why would you use keywords? Well, keywords is really important. It changed how our YouTube channel was even found. Before, we would just throw up videos, put them up. We had no thumbnail. We had not much of a description. Didn't really know what we were doing. Then we found out that, oh, you're supposed to use keywords. Keywords doesn't mean you keyword load, which means when you find the keywords, you don't just dump on all the words, or you don't just say all the words, or your description isn't just full of those words. That's not very natural, and the Google machine will know. So that's what this is all about. Keywords and Google are what talk to each other, and it's what people are looking for and searching. So when it comes to how to figure out your keywords, we gotta think about first, what kind of content are you doing and what is your channel niche? So niche just means, what are you specializing in? We're not talking to the whole city, we're not talking to the whole country. We're talking to a specific type of client that you are speaking to on this video. So if I'm talking to a buyer moving to Edmonton, I'm going to have that as a niche, and I'm going to look up certain keywords that those buyers are going to be looking for when they're searching for videos on how to move to Edmonton. Now, if you don't have an audience in mind, you can pick one. Now, maybe as a realtor, you have really enjoyed working with buyers. Maybe you enjoy working with first-time home buyers. The more specific you can get, the better. And I know that is kind of a little scary for some of us, because you think, well, I don't want to not work with someone who is not in that niche. No one's saying that you're not going to be able to work with those people, but I want you to be specific about what you're making this content for on YouTube, because YouTube really likes knowing, hey, this content, this channel is made for relocation. And then they're just going to start pumping out your channel to that. And ultimately, you want YouTube searches to be how people find you, or browse features, not direct links where you're posting them on your emails or your LinkedIn or your Facebook. No. You want YouTube to do its work, and you want people to find you within YouTube. Okay, so you know your niche now, and you know the content you're doing, so you've already done some research, and now you want to film a video. There's TubeBuddy. We found when we used TubeBuddy, it was too far reaching. We didn't see success with the keywords we were getting from them. So we really like Keywords Everywhere. It's really simple to use, and there was keywords for free. I believe there is no more free options, but it's very minimal cost to actually use keywords. You pay a set cost, and you have access to using that software for multiple searches for at least months, if not years, before you use it all up, unless you go crazy and you use everything up because you're just so curious. Now, don't forget, we've got to toggle that feature off so that you're not accidentally searching for keywords, and we'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so you go to the website here, and you can see that there is the ability to install for Chrome. Now, if you're using Firefox, that's the only other option. I'm using Chrome. So what you do is you click this button, and then you can add to Chrome. And I'm just gonna hit add extension. And as I'm adding the extension, it's gonna show up right here in the corner on the top. So once you've added the extension, you can now be able to do keyword searching anytime, and it's super easy. Oh, there is a free version of keywords. So here is what you get with the keywords. And then there's also a video of the difference between the free and paid version. So you can check that out. But you can see the paid version and free version has the different things. We pay for the paid version because we do want to see the monthly search volume. That's exactly what we're going to be showing you. The CPC, which is not super important to us, the competition, and the data. That's the most important for us to know when we're looking for keywords. So once you've downloaded the Keywords Everywhere extension, you can click this. And then what you have is you have on and off. So when you have this on and you're doing your keyword search, that's great. Don't forget when you're finished to turn it off, because otherwise it's gonna keep on going and you don't want your searches to be used when you're not actually intending to search. So right now, this is the free version. If you are actually wanting to use the paid version, then you would put in your API key, which is right here. So you type your API key in here. All right, so once you have your API key, you put that in here, click validate. Oh, and there's an error. Oh, we're in. So make sure if you're in the US or in Canada, you're putting the correct Canadian dollar. So we are now we now have keywords set up. There's nothing we really need to do. You can see that they're using all of these things. You can turn off what's being searched. You don't have to use them. And we are now all set up. So we are gonna go into keywords link now into the extension. We've got it on, so you can see my emails here and I have the credits I have left. So you know what's going on and how many searches you have. So now where do you search? Because it says, where do I put the search? You actually just search right in the browser bar. So if I am searching moving to Edmonton, what'll happen is you'll see this now. This is new, this is not normal. We are paying for this. So it says $320 per month for volume, $5.75 for CPC, and competition 0.2. Then you've also got the trending data for moving to Edmonton, related keywords, and also more searches. Now we go into more detail in my course when we talk about what all this exactly means, but the quick of it all is when you're starting a new channel, you wanna be under 1,000 per month on this side. So this would be a good keyword feature to use. Competition of 0.2 is not too bad. When it's 1.0, that's way too competitive when you are a brand new channel. And you can see here the trend of when it was searched for all time. If you wanna look in the last 30 days, you can see it was recently really searched the last 12 months. So you can kind of see all that. Moving to Calgary is also another one. Moving to Edmonton from Toronto, so maybe you do a video that's talking about that. You can see the trend here, and also it's 0.84, so it's a little bit more competitive. Moving to Edmonton from Vancouver. And then you've also got this. Now, making videos for this YouTube channel that I have, I can definitely attest that there's a lot of people that come from Ontario and BC when they are coming to Edmonton, so you can definitely see that this is a very well-searched term. Now, what do you think of these lower ones? These don't hurt, but they're definitely not searched as much. And especially because we as realtors, sometimes we talk in a different way than most clients do. So if you're thinking of what to look for in a home inspection, if they're a buyer, they're wondering what to look for. This is obviously a very searched term, it's $1,300 per month. And you can see here, things that fail a home inspection. So you can see as a buyer's agent, what are most searched. And you can see a checklist isn't super looked at when you look at this way, but when it's worded this way, there's 1,000. So you can definitely see there's a higher trend. Now this CPC is to do with if you were paying for ads, and we're doing all organic, so this is really irrelevant in our world, but it is interesting to see what people are paying for these keywords if you are doing the pay to play game. But as you can see, this is a very simple way to look for keywords to be able to work on your videos. All right, so you have these keywords now to use in your video. How are you going to use them? You have them all written down. We have screenshots of them that I have my marketing assistant help me with. So if you're trying to leverage your time, you might have some topics you're looking at. You can get some help from your assistant, and then we put them on Trello so that I have a screenshot of them. So before I film my video, I take a look at that, and I also make key points of what I'm gonna talk about in the video. I don't make a full script. When I first started, I did script and have a teleprompter, but I just felt like it was too unnatural. Okay, so how to use the keywords is I was told to make sure you mention it if you can in the first 5 seconds of the video. Now, don't ramble off a whole bunch of keywords. If there's a whole bunch of different categories of moving to Edmonton, you don't want to just rattle off a whole bunch of those keywords. Just make sure you mention it, and then make sure if yourself or your assistant is doing the description to make sure that those keywords are included in your description. And if you can do it in the title, that's also a great thing. Now the thumbnail is supposed to be 5 words or less, so you can't necessarily always use keywords in there, and it's not super important when it comes to that because the thumbnail is just something that you want as a hook and to grab people, and we talk about that in another video. So when you're looking for keywords for YouTube, make sure to keep a list going and screenshot. So maybe you were looking for moving to Edmonton and you find there's something else on the side. So we talked about moving to Edmonton from Vancouver. Just make a note of that on the side, screenshot it, put it in another card for another idea for content, because maybe you're going to talk about moving to Edmonton kind of in general in one video, and then you're going to talk more specifically about people moving from Vancouver to Edmonton. So it gives you a lot of ideas. There are a lot of alternatives, like I mentioned earlier. There is TubeBuddy, there's Uber Suggest. There's a lot of different places that you can search. Google also has a tool that you can use to search what is being most searched for on Google. So if you're ever curious for ideas, just make sure that you just Google it and you'll be able to find a ton of different ideas. Hopefully this video helped. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.